A very good morning to everyone. Welcome to FX Yogi. In today's video, we are about to learn about the trade flows and trade balance, which are the fundamental factors that influence the currency value. International trade can be broadly distinguished between trade in goods, called merchandise, and services. The bulk of international trade concerns physical goods, while services account for a much lower share. World trade in goods has increased dramatically over the last decade, rising from about $10 trillion in 2005 to more than $18.89 trillion in 2019. We are living in a global marketplace. Countries sell their own goods to countries that want them. That's called exporting, while at the same time buying goods they want from other countries, which is called the importing. Have a look around your house. Most of the stuff, the electronics, clothing, doggy toys lying around is probably made outside of the country you live in. If you live in the United States, look at all the different countries that the US trades with. Every time you buy something new, you have to give up some of your hard earned cash. Whoever you buy your budget from has to do the same thing. US importers exchange money with Chinese exporters when they buy goods, and Chinese importers exchange money with European exporters when they buy goods. All this buying and selling is accompanied by the exchange of money, which in turn changes the flow of currency into and out of the country. Trade balance or balance of trade or net exports measures the ratio of exports to imports for a given economy. It demonstrates the demand for that country's goods and services and ultimately its currency as well. If exports are higher than imports, a trade surplus exists and the trade balance is positive. On the other hand, if imports are higher than exports, a trade deficit exists and the trade balance is negative. So, exports greater imports equals trade surplus, that is equals positive trade balance. Imports greater exports equals trade deficit equals negative trade balance. Trade deficits have the prospect of pushing a currency price down compared to other currencies. Net importers first have to sell their currency in order to buy the currency of the foreign merchant who is selling the goods they want. When there is a trade deficit, the local currency is being sold to buy foreign goods. Because of that, the currency of a country with a trade deficit is less in demand compared to the currency of a country with a trade surplus. Net exporters, countries that export more than they import, see their currency being bought more by countries interested in buying the exported goods. Trade surpluses tend to experience currency appreciation. It is in more demand, helping their currency to gain value. It's all due to the demand for the currency. That's because when exporters convert the foreign currency they earn abroad into their domestic currency, this tends to put upward pressure on the domestic currency. Currencies in higher demand tend to be valued higher than those in less demand. It is similar to pop stars because she is more in demand. Like Taylor Swift gets more paid than the Pink. The government, present and future. After the great financial crisis GFC caused the government recession during the late 2000s, all eyes are gladly watching their respective countries' governments wondering about the financial difficulties being faced and hoping for some sort of fiscal responsibility that would end the woes felt in our walls. A decade later, we now face a similar situation as the world tries to navigate a global health crisis and economic collapse caused by the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. Instability in the current governments or change to the current administration can have a direct bearing on that country's economy and even neighboring nations. And any impact on an economy will most likely affect exchange rates. That's all for today. Let's catch up on the next video with more interesting content. Until then, take care. Bye bye.